So today in medicine we will see a bit more about atherosclerosis. So we know that the heart attack is actually called myo, which means muscle, myocardial, which means heart, myocardial infarct, which means death of tissue by lack of oxygen. Infarct. Okay. So what happens is that um, the blood can't reach the tissue of the heart because of the fatty plaque. So we know how the fatty plaque it happens. We studied last video. And so with the fatty plaque, what happens is we have low oxygen. And having low oxygen, we're going to have the MI, which is myocardial infarct. And so let's see what happens. So let's say you're, I don't know, playing soccer. The first things first, we need our blood vessel. It's over here. Oh, it is over here. Okay. And we have we have muscles over here that are fibers. Okay. Let me just change the color so that we can see better. You know, blue. You know. Okay. So we have our muscles, and they have their nuclei because they're cells, right? They are made up of cells. They're called cardiomyocytes. And so we have our bloodstream over here, you know. We have also our endothelial cells, which are the barriers. And what happens is that we had that fatty plaque over here restraining the blood flow. Okay. And I can see where I am. Okay. So it doesn't let the blood go. Okay. And so on the beginning, we had a lot of blood flowing. Okay. So we had all of this flowing. And so the muscles are happy because they have a lot of oxygen. And if you're not doing any exercise, you're cool. If you're having a further, I mean, it's bad to have an MI, but you're cool. But when you start doing exercise, our heart, which is not in this shape, but okay, begins to beat faster. And what happens is that we need more oxygen. So the tissue, actually the muscle cells, they begin to feel that they need more oxygen and they don't have. So they send a signal to the brain. No, pain signal. They send pain signals to the brain, which is over here, and more signals. Okay. actually they send from here up, that they are not feeling good. And then what happens is that, okay, the brain, uh, it's not used to feel the brain is not used to feel pain from the heart, so it thinks that the pain is coming from indigestion. So you start to feel pain on your tummy, okay, your belly, and oh, that's horrible, but okay. You begin to feel pain in here, right over here, okay, and then it continues to persist, and then it feels pain on the right arm and on the left arm because it's not used to feel this pain. And then you continue play soccer like usual, and there is a lot of pain, so your brain gets confused. um and so the your muscle get even less blood, okay, so it starts to slow down, so this part over here slows down, and so the rest needs to beat faster. And what happens is that there is a lot of adrenaline. The because of that pain, the brain gives a lot of sense hormones to send adrenaline, and so the heart begins to beat faster and faster and faster. And what happens is that the blood, the yellow thing, the fatty plaque, is starting to grow up because there's a lot of pressure, and it makes a blockade, so the blood, it's not moving. And so now the muscle begins to tear up because there's a lot of things inside it, so tearing apart, and all the waste, because it doesn't have oxygen, it's full of waste, and it releases toxins, which are not toxins, troponins, which is a specific type of the cardiac tissue, and it's very bad now, the situation. And so our heart is injured and is beating slower and weaker. And you also are going to have difficulty in breathing because we have down here our heart, and we have our left and right lungs. Okay, and so the blood goes and comes back, but it's full of fat and things. So your lung uh, starts to feel like the blood begins to build up over here, and you can breathe as well. So, and because of that, uh, there isn't a lot of blood going to the brain, so you start to feel a little dizzy. And yeah, that's is what begins to happen. And then our muscles, they begin to die because they don't have enough oxygen, and they cannot be replaced like any other muscle, like hair or things like that. So it's very bad. So after 20 minutes, everything dies, like begins to the muscles begin to die, and the heart begins to beat slower and slower until it stops.